For centuries, humans have underestimated goats. Often dismissed as stubborn farm animals, their intelligence, adaptability, and curiosity have remained hidden behind a facade of simplicity. But step closer, observe quietly, and a different story emerges. A story of ingenuity, calculation, and survival that rivals even the cleverest creatures in the wild. Goats are not merely animals. They are thinkers, explorers, and innovators in a world that constantly challenges them. In the wild, goats face environments most humans would consider impossible. Jagged cliffs, sheer mountainsides, and rocky outcrops are their classrooms. Every leap, every foothold, every calculated move is the result of a mind finely tuned to balance risk and reward. Unlike many animals, goats do not rely solely on instinct. They observe, learn, and strategize. A young goat watching an elder navigate a treacherous path will replicate the movement with astonishing precision, demonstrating the power of observational learning and memory. Curiosity drives their intellect. Goats investigate new objects, obstacles, and even humans, testing and learning with patience and focus. Their rectangular pupils give them nearly panoramic vision, allowing them to assess distances and angles with unmatched accuracy. This unique anatomy, combined with their mental sharpness, enables them to traverse terrain that seems impossible, turning danger into opportunity and challenge into mastery. But intelligence in goats is not limited to survival alone. It extends into social awareness and emotional perception. Within herds, they understand hierarchy, cooperation, and even deception. Goats can read subtle cues from companions, anticipating movements and responding accordingly. They remember individuals, both goats and humans, and adjust their behavior based on past interactions. What humans often interpret as stubbornness is in reality persistence guided by calculation. What appears as playfulness is experimentation, practice, and rehearsal for life in a world that demands adaptability. The genius of goats lies not just in their minds, but in their ability to combine observation, memory, and emotion into actionable intelligence. They explore, solve, plan, and even exhibit creativity. Every cliff climbed, every gate opened, and every obstacle overcome tells a story of a mind that thrives on challenge. It is a mind that cannot be underestimated, a mind that continues to surprise scientists, farmers, and nature enthusiasts alike. To watch a goat in action is to witness nature's subtle brilliance. It is a reminder that intelligence comes in many forms, often quiet, often unassuming, and yet profoundly effective. Goats are living proof that survival is not only about strength or speed, it is about perception, strategy, and the courage to explore the unknown. The hidden genius of goats is waiting for those willing to look beyond the surface, to appreciate the clever, curious, and extraordinary minds that roam the wild. Goats are among the earliest animals humans ever encountered, yet their story begins long before human civilization. The wild ancestors of modern goats roamed the rugged terrains of Central Asia and the Middle East thousands of years ago, evolving in some of the harshest environments on Earth. These landscapes, with steep cliffs, sparse vegetation, and extreme weather, forged not only their physical agility but also their mental acuity. Every movement had to be calculated, every step deliberate, and every decision critical for survival. In this crucible, the goat's mind sharpened, giving rise to the intelligence we see today. The wild goat, known scientifically as Capra aegris, was a master of adaptation. Its rectangular pupils allowed panoramic vision, critical for spotting predators across vast and uneven terrain. Its hooves, split and rough, could grip surfaces that seemed impossible to scale. But these physical adaptations were matched by an equally remarkable intellect. Wild goats learned from each other, passing knowledge about safe routes, hidden water sources, and predator behavior from one generation to the next. Survival was not just instinct, it was culture, memory, and observation, combined in a sophisticated social intelligence. As humans began domesticating animals, goats became one of the first species to cross from wild freedom into human care. Yet, even in domestication, the intelligence and adaptability of goats remained intact. Early farmers quickly realized that these animals were not only hardy and resourceful, but also problem solvers. Gates, enclosures, and barriers were often no match for their curiosity and cleverness. Tales from ancient settlements tell of goats that escaped captivity, navigated terrain, and returned to their herds, demonstrating a mental flexibility that impressed early observers and settlers alike. Across centuries, goats spread to mountains, deserts, islands, and farmlands worldwide. Each environment shaped them further, honing unique survival strategies. Himalayan goats climbed cliffs where snow and ice threatened every step. Mediterranean goats learned to navigate rocky islands with limited vegetation. Desert goats mastered finding water in barren lands, while feral goats on remote islands thrived with minimal human interference. Their spread across continents is a testament to their intelligence and adaptability, their mind as mobile and versatile as their hooves. The origins of the goat are not just a story of evolution, but of resilience and ingenuity. From the wild cliffs of Central Asia to the remote islands of the Mediterranean, goats have consistently demonstrated that survival is as much about thought as it is about strength. Every leap, every climb, every act of problem-solving echoes centuries of adaptation and learning. Understanding the origins of goats is to understand a species that has never been ordinary, one that continues to defy expectations, challenge human assumptions, and inspire awe in every environment it inhabits. Intelligence in goats goes far beyond survival. Observing them in the wild reveals minds capable of problem-solving, experimentation, and memory skills that rival some of the smartest animals on Earth. Their actions are deliberate, precise, and often astonishingly clever, revealing a level of awareness that many humans fail to recognize. What appears as play or mischief is often an intricate demonstration of cognitive ability, adapted perfectly to the challenges of their environment. In the wild, goats constantly assess risk and reward. Before leaping to a seemingly impossible ledge, a goat pauses, studies the distance, and calculates the angle. These calculations are not random, they are learned behaviors, honed by trial, observation, and experience. Younger goats watch their elders, imitating successful strategies while learning from mistakes. This observational learning demonstrates not just intelligence, but the ability to teach, communicate, and retain knowledge, skills often considered unique to humans and primates. Goats are also masters of experimentation. A simple obstacle, like a fence or a branch, becomes a puzzle to solve. They explore every angle, test various approaches, and even anticipate outcomes. In some cases, goats have been observed manipulating objects in unexpected ways, demonstrating creativity and ingenuity. A goat opening a latch, figuring out how to reach food, or navigating a difficult slope showcases problem-solving that goes beyond instinct. It is deliberate, flexible, and adaptive thinking in action. Memory plays a critical role in their intelligence. Goats remember individual humans, other animals, and the locations of resources like water or food. They recall past experiences, adjusting behavior based on previous successes or failures. For example, a goat that once slipped on a rock will navigate that path differently in the future, demonstrating learning from experience. This memory, combined with their observational skills, allows them to navigate environments that are complex, dangerous, and constantly changing. Social intelligence is another remarkable facet of goat minds. Herds operate on subtle hierarchies, and goats communicate through gestures, vocalizations, and body language. They understand relationships, anticipate actions, and sometimes even employ cunning strategies to gain advantage, whether for food, position, or attention. Observers often interpret these behaviors as stubbornness, but in reality, they reveal calculated social awareness, patience, and strategy. Even in captivity, goats display cognitive brilliance. They solve puzzles, recognize human emotions, and engage in playful problem-solving. Their curiosity drives learning, while their adaptability allows them to adjust to new challenges quickly. What many perceive as mischievous or stubborn behavior is in fact the manifestation of a mind constantly evaluating, learning, and innovating. The intelligence of goats defies expectation because it combines multiple layers: observation, memory, social awareness, problem-solving, and creativity. Their minds are not singularly focused on survival. They are curious, strategic, and emotionally perceptive. To witness a goat in action is to glimpse an intelligence that is sophisticated, nuanced, and at times profoundly human-like. Goats are survivors in the truest sense of the word. Across continents, climates, and terrains, they have demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt, endure, and thrive where few other animals can. From jagged mountain peaks to arid deserts, from remote islands to bustling urban streets, goats exhibit intelligence, resilience, and versatility that continues to astonish scientists and wildlife enthusiasts alike. In the soaring Himalayas, goats scale cliffs that seem vertical to the human eye. The Himalayan Thar and Markhor navigate narrow ledges with precision, using their muscular agility and keen eyesight to anticipate every shift in terrain. These mountains are not merely habitats, they are classrooms where goats hone the skills of balance, judgment, and spatial awareness. Every step, every jump is an act of calculated risk, demonstrating a mastery of the environment few creatures possess. On Mediterranean islands, feral goats have adapted to harsh, rocky landscapes with limited vegetation. Here, survival depends on ingenuity. Goats forage for sparse food, remembering hidden patches of grass, roots, and shrubs that sustain them. They display problem-solving skills as they negotiate fences, obstacles, and human settlements, demonstrating an ability to navigate a world shaped by both nature and human interference. Their success on these islands underscores not only physical adaptability, but also remarkable cognitive resilience. Desert goats offer yet another testament to survival. In arid regions of Africa and Asia, goats find water where it seems impossible, detect edible plants hidden among thorny scrub, and maintain hydration and energy through careful resource management. These animals are guided by memory, instinct, and learned strategies passed down through generations. To watch a desert goat forage is to witness a creature whose mind operates like a natural GPS, mapping resources, dangers, and escape routes with incredible precision. Even urban environments, once thought unsuitable for wild animals, have become playgrounds for goats. In some cities, goats navigate streets, rooftops, and alleys, blending natural agility with learned urban cunning. They adjust to human presence, avoid hazards, and exploit opportunities for food and shelter. This ability to thrive in environments entirely shaped by humans highlights a mental flexibility that is rare in the animal kingdom. Across all these habitats, one trait remains consistent: the goat's resilience. Physical strength, cleverness, emotional perception, and social intelligence converge to create a species capable of surviving and thriving against odds that would overwhelm lesser creatures. Each environment tests them in different ways, yet their adaptability allows them not only to endure, but to master the challenges before them. Goats are global survivors because they combine mental acuity with physical precision, curiosity with observation, and independence with social awareness. Their success across such varied landscapes proves that intelligence in the animal kingdom is not just about problem solving, it is about understanding the environment, anticipating challenges, and adapting without hesitation. Wherever humans, predators, or extreme conditions appear, goats persist. They endure, they explore, and they inspire. A living testament to the ingenuity and resilience of nature's most underestimated geniuses. Goats are more than survivors. They are deeply social and emotionally perceptive creatures. Their interactions within herds reveal complex hierarchies, bonds of friendship, and the subtle intelligence required to navigate social networks. Observing goats in their natural environments is like watching a finely tuned society, where every glance, gesture, and vocalization carries meaning. Their emotional depth is often overlooked, yet it shapes not only their relationships, but their very survival. Within a herd, goats exhibit behaviors that suggest empathy and cooperation. A mother goat's attention to her kid goes beyond instinct. She guides, protects, and teaches, ensuring that her young learn not only how to feed and climb, but how to understand the world around them. Kids, in turn, engage in play that hones their motor skills, spatial awareness, and social understanding. What may seem like simple frolicking is actually practice for navigating both physical and social landscapes, reinforcing bonds and developing essential skills. Goats are also capable of recognizing individuals, both within their species and among humans. They remember faces, track interactions, and adjust their behavior accordingly. A goat may approach a familiar farmer with trust or avoid someone who has caused harm, demonstrating emotional memory and decision-making based on past experiences. This ability highlights a cognitive and emotional sophistication that challenges traditional views of livestock as simple or unfeeling. Play among goats is another window into their emotional and social intelligence. Headbutting, jumping, and mock chasing are more than entertainment. They are exercises in strategy, judgment, and risk assessment. Through play, goats test boundaries, explore social hierarchies, and develop problem-solving skills. Their interactions are dynamic, fluid, and often creative, revealing personalities as distinct as any humans. Even outside their herds, goats display curiosity and emotional engagement. Feral goats often investigate humans or other animals with caution and intelligence, gauging intentions and responding appropriately. In some cases, they form bonds with other species, demonstrating flexibility in social connections. This cross-species awareness reflects a capacity for empathy and understanding that few animals exhibit outside primates and domesticated companions. Emotional intelligence in goats extends to stress management and resilience. Goats can sense danger, anticipate threats, and act to protect themselves and their herd. Fear is balanced with curiosity. Caution is tempered by ingenuity. Their emotional and cognitive abilities are intertwined, creating creatures that are not only physically capable but emotionally adaptive, a combination that ensures survival in some of the harshest and most unpredictable environments on Earth. The social and emotional lives of goats reveal a species far more sophisticated than commonly believed. From nurturing mothers to playful kids, from intricate herd dynamics to cross-species bonds, goats demonstrate intelligence that blends cognition and emotion seamlessly. They teach us that survival is not merely about strength or agility, but about understanding relationships, communicating effectively, and navigating the world with awareness and care. Goats are not just wild animals. They are social architects of their environment, masters of empathy and emotional strategists, thriving through connection, observation, and intelligence. Goats have long occupied a unique place in human imagination, often straddling the line between admiration and fear. Across cultures and centuries, these animals have inspired myths, legends, and superstitions that reveal both their mysterious nature and the profound impression they leave on the human psyche. From ancient gods to folkloric tales of mischief and devilry, goats have been woven into stories that illuminate not only their cleverness, but also the human fascination with the wild and the untamable. In ancient Greece, the goat was immortalized in mythology. The god Pan, with his half-goat, half-human form, symbolized nature, fertility, and untamed wilderness. Pan's association with music, mischief, and instinctive cunning mirrored the traits humans observed in real goats: curiosity, cleverness, and independence. Stories of Pan reminded people that goats were creatures capable of both mischief and inspiration, reflecting qualities that humans both admired and feared. In Norse mythology, goats were powerful and sacred. Thor's chariot was pulled by two magical goats, Timgrisnir and Tanjastre, whose strength and loyalty were legendary. These stories emphasize the goat's enduring role as a symbol of resilience, endurance, and mystical power. They were not merely animals, they were emblematic of survival, cunning, and mystical power, inspiring reverence among ancient peoples who saw in them the embodiment of untamed natural forces. Goats also appear in darker tales. Across medieval Europe, goats were often linked to the devil, misfortune, and witchcraft. Their horns, agility, and sometimes unpredictable behavior were interpreted as signs of mischief or malevolence. Yet beneath these myths lies a recognition of intelligence and independence that humans could not control. These stories, though steeped in superstition, reveal a deep awareness that goats were exceptional, resilient, clever, and unconstrained by human expectation. Even in folklore, goats are celebrated for their cunning and cleverness. Tales abound of goats outsmarting predators, overcoming obstacles, and navigating complex terrain with seemingly impossible skill. These narratives reflect not only their physical ability, but their mental agility, translating real-world observations into stories of intelligence and strategy. In every culture, goats embody a duality: playful and wild, clever and unpredictable, familiar yet mysterious. The spiritual and cultural symbolism of goats continues into modern times. In some societies, they are emblems of fertility, abundance, and determination. In others, they represent stubbornness, independence, and the untamed spirit of nature. Across all myths, the underlying truth is consistent. Goats are remarkable creatures whose behavior has inspired awe, respect, and fascination for millennia. Their presence in human imagination reflects a recognition of qualities that remain extraordinary: intelligence, adaptability, and a wild, untamable mind. Through myths and legends, goats teach us to look beyond appearances. They remind us that intelligence and cunning can be disguised as playfulness or mischief, that resilience often manifests in subtle, quiet ways, and that the creatures we underestimate may hold the deepest lessons about survival and ingenuity. The stories of goats are not just fanciful tales, they are reflections of real traits magnified through human imagination, celebrating the wild, brilliant minds of one of nature's most underestimated animals. Despite their ancient history and impressive intelligence, goats remain underestimated in the modern world. Often dismissed as simple farm animals, they quietly demonstrate ingenuity, adaptability, and usefulness that continue to surprise scientists, farmers, and animal enthusiasts alike. In the fields of sustainability, therapy, and research, goats have become unlikely heroes, proving that even the most overlooked creatures can make extraordinary contributions. In sustainable farming, goats are invaluable. Their natural grazing habits help manage invasive plants, maintain pastures, and reduce wildfire risks. Unlike mechanical tools, goats are self-sufficient, selective, and efficient. Farmers quickly learn that goats are not merely livestock, they are intelligent workers, capable of navigating rugged terrain, identifying edible vegetation, and even cooperating with other herd members to optimize grazing. This combination of physical and mental acuity turns them into ecological partners, shaping landscapes while maintaining their natural behaviors. Goats also play a remarkable role in animal-assisted therapy. Their gentle curiosity, emotional intelligence, and playful nature allow them to connect with humans in ways that few animals can. In therapy programs, goats help reduce stress, encourage social interaction, and provide comfort to people of all ages. Their ability to recognize emotions and respond appropriately makes them not just companions, but active participants in human well-being, bridging the gap between instinct and empathy in ways that leave a lasting impact. Scientific research has also revealed their remarkable intelligence. Goats have been observed solving complex puzzles, remembering individual humans, and demonstrating problem-solving strategies that rival those of primates. Laboratories studying cognition and behavior increasingly look to goats as models for understanding memory, learning, and social intelligence. Their adaptability, curiosity, and learning capabilities make them subjects of fascination and a source of insight into the broader patterns of animal intelligence. Even in urban environments, goats continue to surprise. Feral populations in cities and towns navigate rooftops, streets, and alleys with astonishing precision. They adapt quickly to human presence, find food, and avoid hazards, demonstrating mental flexibility and spatial intelligence. Their success in these unconventional habitats underscores a universal truth. Wherever they are, goats adapt, survive, and thrive. The modern-day goat is an underdog, no longer in terms of capability. Their intelligence, emotional awareness, and adaptability make them indispensable partners in ecosystems, therapy programs, and research initiatives. Yet the world still underestimates them, failing to see the cunning, creativity, and resilience that allow these animals to excel in diverse environments. Goats are living proof that brilliance often hides in plain sight, that innovation is not solely human, and that the wild, intelligent mind can flourish even